being honest with ourselves. This is another important part of actually being able to awaken, is being honest with our current experience and how we're feeling. Now, it's quite often, quite common, particularly if you follow a spiritual path and you've had, insights or experiences, to think that we're actually more at peace than we are, or more happier or less, or we start to believe, not on purpose, but we start to think that possibly we're further along the line or happier than what the truth is. Or we believe because we've done so much work that we should be as peaceful, and we might play a peaceful role. We might act how we think we should act. Maybe we've read a lot of books about how we should talk softer and we should move more smooth. But sometimes we can delude ourselves, and we actually start to believe we're further than we are, and this delusion stops us from progressing any further down our path. Because what we're actually doing in playing and acting, and it could be anything we're acting. Maybe we act more confident, maybe we act more happy, peaceful, all these things, and we put an act on, and the act itself stops us from actually becoming more confident or happy or peaceful, because we're suppressing feelings. Maybe we're suppressing social anxiety by putting on this act of confidence, and we think we're more confident, but in reality we're putting on a show and suppressing the anxiety, or we're talking quieter and moving slower to portray a more peaceful image. And in doing that, we sort of push what we don't want away, our shadow, which is the fact that maybe we are not very peaceful, our mind's very rapid, we're very anxious, but because we've followed a spiritual path and meditating for so long, we've built up this idea that we have to be a certain way. So we've suppressed all the emotions that are causing us to be this way. So eventually you come to this point where you feel you're not getting anywhere. And that's when we got to be honest with ourselves and ask yourself, am I genuinely at peace at the moment? Do I genuinely feel happy? Am I genuinely confident? Or whatever the facade we're playing, is it true? Is this true? Or is it an act? And sometimes it's an uncomfortable truth to swallow. That we aren't actually as confident as we've projected ourselves to be, or as at peace as we hoped, that we're not as far down the line, and it can almost feel like we're going backwards. But it's one of those things you got to sort of, when you're stagnant, you got to sort of go down to go back up. You got to go into the body. If you go into your body, that will give you your true answer. Direct our attention into the body, and how are we actually feeling? Maybe because of playing an act so long, we've built up a numbness in the body. We just feel numb, and then we've mistaken that numbness for a sense of peace and detachment, whereas true peace and detachment, there's a joy and lightness and to it, not a stagnant numbness that isn't. It's a false facade of peace, but in reality it's not that nice. It drains us. But yeah, once we become honest with how we're feeling, honest with our feelings, we can actually deal with them. Once you become honest, become aware of actually what's going on. What are these feelings coming up? What are the stories behind these feelings? And we focus on them. We just focus on those feelings and be present with them, and allow them to be felt. Allow whatever stories to come up, and just let it experience the emotion. It might take a while. You might have to sit down, and maybe you have to sit present with the emotion and journal, or even see a therapist if it's extreme. But the key aspect here is the body. One, being honest with ourselves. And to be honest with ourselves, we need to know how we're really feeling, and to know how we're really feeling, we need to focus our attention into the body and try and scan the body, notice any attention, and just sit in the body, sit present, not present in the head, ignoring everything you're feeling. Because as long as there's tension, as long as there's resistance, as long as there's lots and lots of thoughts, distractions, that's a sign of some emotional stuff going on, repressed emotions. Anyways, that's all I've got for today. So, see you guys on the next one.